Hello, and welcome to your Quickie. We're faced this direction today because we are having some clouds this morning in Puerto Vallarta, and just the change in the light is really hard for the camera. So we were pointed this direction, which is also lovely this time of the year. We have the bougainvillea that's blooming in all of its magnificence, and our elephant ears are just going insane. This morning, we're going to have a quick practice. We're going to end it with a brief alternate nostril breathing just to balance us out, a brief savasana, and then we're going to be off into our day. So we're going to start seated today. Go ahead and find your comfortable seat. Let the eyes fall closed and start to pull the awareness in. So letting go of whatever the day's been so far, forgetting about anything that might be on the agenda for later. For this next period of time, it's just us, just right here and right now. Letting the shoulders soften down away from the ears, the shoulder blades slide down the back. Imagining that little thread connected to the crown of the head, sitting you up just that little bit taller than usual. Then starting to notice breath, not controlling it, but notice your baseline. Notice how you're arriving today. Then finding some softness in the rib cage and let the diaphragm drop. So allowing some space to form in the belly for those nice, big, deep belly breaths to flow. Now, for these next few moments, we're just going to breathe. And the idea is we're going to be sending the breath deep into the belly space. And in our minds, we're going to be taking a step back from our thinking mind. So just a couple of moments of mindfulness meditation. If you get wrapped up in a thought, no worries. Just bring your awareness back to your sensation of breath to come back to your baseline. So here we go. Letting those eyes fall closed if they're not closed already. And just breathe. Wonderful. Biggest, deepest breath of the day. Feel the whole belly space, whole chest space. Then through the mouth with a sigh, exhale completely. Wonderful. Inhale the arms out and up. Gotta remember it's a quickie. Gotta remember it's a quickie. Palms to touch. Exhale down through heart center. I always try to drag it out into a complete full length class. It's not. Inhale those arms out and up. Palms to touch. Exhaling down through heart center. And last time, inhaling out and up. This time, interlace fingers, flip the palms, press the ceiling away. Nice big inhale up here. On the exhale, tipping the ribcage right. Inhaling it back to center. Exhale, tipping it left. Inhale back to center. Dropping the right arm down. Exhale. Take your time. Thinking about keeping that left sit bone grounded as you actively reach through those left fingers. Nice big stretch through that whole left side body. A little bit of extra emphasis on that space between the hip and the rib cage. Yeah. Good. Engage the core. Inhale, come up. And exhale left. Again, really grounding down through that right hip. Active reach through that right arm. A little bit of emphasis on that space between the hip and the rib cage. Wonderful. Engage the core. Inhale, come up. Exhale, float those arms down. Simple twist. Left hand, right knee, right hand behind. Inhale, tall. Exhale, twist. Belly first. Then the ribs, the shoulders. And finally, the gaze. Good. Big inhale. On the exhale, unwind top down. Right hand, left knee, left hand behind. Inhale, tall. Exhale, twist. Belly first. Then the ribs, the shoulders. And finally, that gaze. Good. Big inhale. On the exhale, unwind top down. Headed for our tabletop. And right into our cat pose. Pressing the ground away, tucking the tailbone, gaze drops to the navel. Cow pose, belly drops, tailbone lifts, gaze gently lifts, shoulders wide, collarbone spread, heart pulling through. Good. We're going to start to swing that torso round in circles, kind of like a jump rope, right? Now it's up to you if you want to really emphasize the movement-breath connection here. Totally awesome way to go. Inhaling deep into your cow, swing it to the side, exhaling up into your cat, maybe even engaging Uddiyana Bandha. But also you can just let yourself be loose and free with the idea of just finding as much looseness in the spine and in the joints as you can. So whatever appeals for you, go for it. I like to think about hitting a different spot each time I go around with the apex of the spine. So for instance, this time I'm going to shoot for between the shoulder blades. And this next time I'm going to shoot for mid-back. This next time I'm going to shoot for low back. This time I'm going to go diagonal, you know, that kind of thing. Switching directions. Feel free to get your head and neck involved if you are so inclined. Now, if you are just holding your head still, just have your neck be soft. All right. Returning that spine to neutral, taking a big inhale. On the exhale, we're going to sit back to a child's pose. Take a second. Let yourself relax. Allowing the muscles to soften, the bones to settle into place. Wonderful. We're going to inhale, come up to tabletop. We're going to tuck those toes under, lift those knees, a little bit of hover. So we're activating through that low belly. Notice where your hands are in relation to the shoulders. I pretty often find that my hands are a bit too far forward, and I benefit by walking them back a little bit. You might just check to see if you're in that same boat. Wonderful. We're going to send the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Once you're there, feel free to bend those knees as much as you'd like to. Take any movements that feel good. So in our downward facing dog, we're thinking about bringing those hips, shoulders, and wrists all into one straight line. So, in theory, you could, roll a ball from, your sacrum and have it roll all the way down and, bonk you in the head, I guess, at the bottom. But just thinking straight line, hips up, back, heart pulling towards the toes, towards the floor. Making sure that you have a good grounding on those index knuckles. There's an internal rotation of the forearms here to accomplish that. And then there's an external rotation of the upper arm bone. That seems magic, you might say. Impossible. Well, because we have two bones in the forearms, it allows us to twist the forearms in a different direction than the upper arm bone. And that's actually quite a critical thing in downward facing dog. The forearms need to internally rotate while the upper arms externally rotate. All right, looking between the hands, walk those feet forward. Inhale to your halfway lift. And we're gonna exhale into a forward fold. So make this whatever you need it to be. Bend those knees a lot. Don't be shy. Once you're in there, you can start to straighten the knees out a little bit with time. And then if you're somebody who's able to just slam forward into that effortless forward fold, you do you, whatever makes your stretch that much more enjoyable, go for it. All right. Good. Big bend in those knees, engage the core. We were swan dive. Forward fold, exhale, just a couple of sun stretches. We're going to go a little bit quick. Halfway lift, inhale. This is a quickie after all. Forward fold, exhale. Rise, inhale. We're going to go to the right on our exhale. Back to the center, inhale. To the left, exhale. You out of breath yet? To the center, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Rise, inhale. We are going to do the side to side again. I skip it sometimes. To the right, exhale. To the center, inhale. To the left, exhale. To the center, inhale. Go ahead and exhale those arms down to the sides. We're going to bring the feet wide. Heels in, toes out. Bring it down. This is quite possibly your first movement of the day. So, if you're like up here somewhere and it's feeling hard, that's okay. Be there. Totally okay. Just find your level that's appropriate for the moment, right? Like later in the day, maybe you'll be jamming it at, twice the depth. Respect what your body needs at the moment, right? Like it literally changes hour to hour throughout the day. All right, so thinking about keeping that tailbone just gently tucked under. That low belly is nicely engaged. We're probably starting to feel some heat in those thighs. We're going to bring the arms into our cactus arms for that goddess, so extending them straight out, bending them high. Here you are. At any point, if you start to feel like, oh, I could do more, or oh, I'd like more, go for it. Go for it. At the same time, if you feel like you'd like to go the other direction, also feel free. If you've been doing yoga for a while, you know, though, that it's that moment when your mind starts to think, oh, okay, I'll just get out of this pose. That's kind of when it starts, right? That's kind of when the yoga pose starts, and it gives you the opportunity to really start to build that mental toughness, right? That ability to kind of hang in there when things are getting tough. And it's not just the yoga pose, right? It's life. It's whatever situations you encounter and they start to get really uncomfortable, but you're able to hang in there with a soft face, with a calm heart, right? So this is practice for life. Okay, we are going to engage through the big toe mounds, swing the heels out. We're going for a forward fold. Again, hamstrings are huge, and they take a long time before they open up and let you stretch. So give yourself time when you come into your forward fold for those hamstrings to start to open. Wonderful. Okay, we're going Skandasana right side. Heel's going to come in a little bit. Left toes are going to pop up. Here we are, Skandasana. If you know this doesn't feel good for your knees, go ahead and go into Yogi Squat. If Yogi Squat doesn't work for you, take Happy Baby. Okay, we're going to switch to the other side. You're welcome to use your hands to walk yourself across. Otherwise, go ninja style. Awesome. A lot of core needed here. Make sure that the tailbone's not winking up at the sky. Tuck that a little bit under. Has a lot to do with the low belly. Make sure that low belly's engaged. Wonderful. All right, we're going to come back to center and then either bring the hands to the ground and hop the feet in or heel toe them into your yogi squat. So whatever works for you. Good. Okay. So in our yogi squat, a lot of people can't get the heels down. That's totally fine. It depends a lot on bone structure, the shape of your joints, as to whether you'll be able to comfortably be in a yogi squat or not. Sometimes it's just flexibility, but that'll start to work itself out just with time in your practice. But anyway, so if you need to have the heels up on like a blanket or a folded strap or something like that, just to give you that little bit of extra height and support, feel free. Totally fine. On the other end of the spectrum, if you're in your yogi squat and you're like, yep, I could hang out here all day, this is totally nothing. then I would like for you to think about keeping the knees pointed towards the ceiling, and then just with your pelvis, tilt forward. So the back's not rounding, just the pelvis is tilting forward and coming down into forearms to the floor, if that's possible. And that should turn on a good stretch for you. We're gonna hang out here for just a couple more breaths. Okie dokie. So making your way back into your regular old yogi squat, unless you're there already, we're gonna stand up. Not too bad, right? Well, we're gonna do it a few more times. So if that gave you a funk sensation in the knees, I want you to be real careful. You're not gonna come all the way down. You're just gonna come down as long as the knees feel safe, and you're gonna come back up. So not going into that full squat. If everything felt good, here we go, all the way. Yogi squat, coming all the way up. Ta-da, right? All the way down. All the way up. All the way down. And up. Good. You know, they're saying that leg strength is an indicator of longevity. So many people have really weak legs. I'm one of them. Oh my gosh. So it wouldn't be a terrible idea to put a little bit more emphasis into the strength of your legs, especially as we start to age, right? Now, if this is killing you, go ahead and stop. We're going to head to the floor, so if you need to have a seat, you can take it now, and that's totally okay. Wonderful. Couple more. Last one. Okay, chair pose. So we want to have you have options, really. You can have the feet hip width apart, kind of like so, or you can zip it up like a mermaid wetsuit with the feet together, everything together, zip, like nice and tight, right? So you'll want to do this if you're not very stable in the knees. This will give you a bit more foundation. If you're stable enough that you can have the feet apart, this is going to actually help to build that strength. Whatever's appropriate for today, right? Hang in there. You got this. You got this. You can do it. Oh my gosh. Okay, here we go. We're going all the way to the floor, and we're going to bring those legs wide. We're going to come in for a seated forward fold. Now, let me say this. This can be really dangerous for your low back, and the reason is because if your flexibility isn't really there yet, then the hamstrings are going to be pulling on the bottom of your pelvis. Your pelvis isn't going to be able to tilt because of that, right? You're going to come forward into your forward fold. Your pelvis is going to stay locked in place, but your back is going to keep moving, and what does that do? That puts a huge amount of pressure on the very low back, which is a really susceptible spot for injury, right? So I want you to be really honest with yourself. Is your pelvis moving or is it locked in place, right? Really notice. Now, if you're not getting any movement or much movement, I want you to come up onto a folded blanket or something like that. See if you can find some movement. At least get to the point to where your tailbone is behind you a little bit and the pelvis is tilted forward a little bit. All right, so if it happens to be that's where you are and there's not a whole lot of movement, stay right there. Totally great, you're getting your stretch. Otherwise, we're gonna lift the heart, lift the tailbone, and start to send the weight forward. Same thing with any seated forward fold. If your pelvis is pretty locked into place, just because of tight hamstrings, which is really common, like nothing to be ashamed of, right? Then you probably find that during the course of class, if the class includes a seated forward fold, you probably have a sore back at the end of class. It's super common. So just be aware if the pelvis is tilting or not, right? All right, press yourself up. We're going to turn towards that right leg and walk it down. We're doing this really quickly in quickie form. We're going to move backwards. We're going to keep the torso oriented towards that right leg, slide that left leg backwards, sweep the right arm over. Good. Coming back center, we're going to turn left. So squaring the torso over that left leg as much as possible, walk yourself down. Moving backwards, staying oriented towards that left leg, slide the right arm back, move backwards. Wonderful. Inhaling back center. We're going to go for one more pancake. Go ahead and bring those hands down and walk it forward. So pancake is the calisthenics term. I believe it is actually Upavista Konasana. Upavista Konasana. I mean, or you could just call it a wide-legged seated forward fold, which would also probably get your point across. All right, gently press yourself up. Baddha Konasana, bottoms of the feet together. Let the knees fall out to the sides, a little bit of wiggle jiggle. All right, so same thing. We're going into a forward fold here where your pelvis may or may not be free. Make sure you can lift the tailbone behind you, rock the pelvis forward. Now, if everything feels good and you have movement in your pelvis, send it down. Think about bringing the belly button to the heels. But know that wherever you are, you're perfect, right? As long as you're not putting a bunch of pressure into your low back, then I'm sure your position is great, no matter how high or how low you are, right? So don't think of depth as being a measure of success. Think of your quality of stretch as being your measure of success, and that's going to be different from day to day and throughout your whole yoga journey, right? Alrighty, press yourself up, extend those legs out, wiggle jiggle. Bridge pose, bring the bottoms of the feet down. We're going to lie ourselves back. So you want to have the heels where you can touch them with the middle finger, index finger, I mean just like roughly, right? Hips, or feet are about hip width apart. You want to make sure that the knees stay pretty parallel, right? As we lift. Not perfect, but pretty parallel. All right, so we're going to press into the feet enough to lift the hips. We're going to interlace the hands underneath us. We're going to roll to one side, whichever one is natural. Tuck the other shoulder under. Roll to that side, tuck the other shoulder under. Okay, so now our hearts are like really open here, right? So we're going to start to lengthen through the spine and use the glutes to pull those thighs towards the ceiling. Make sure you don't look around if you have some pressure on the neck here. We're just going to do one round today. It's quickie, right? Don't push hard with your feet. Pushing hard with your feet can jam your sacrum, and then that sucks for the day. Wonderful. Soften, bring it down, windshield wipers. Did I say we were going to do alternate nostril breathing? I did. We're going to do it on our backs. All right. Bring those knees in, a big squeeze, big inhale. On the exhale, we're going to drop them right. Starting to let yourself soften, right? So letting muscles start to soften. Good. Bringing knees back center. Any transitional movements that you feel like you might need, like if you feel like you need to do a wiggle jiggle or windshield wipers or something like that, go for it. Like your body usually knows what it needs. Give the knees a squeeze, big inhale. Exhale, drop them to the left. Okay, so this is like unheard of, and I'm sure I'm breaking rules here, but we're actually going to have our Shavasana, and when we come back from Shavasana, we're going to do our alternate nostril breathing. I think that'll feel really nice. Let's give it a try. Bring those knees back to center. Give them a bit of a squeeze, a big inhale, and on the exhale, extend into Shavasana. Take a moment, let yourself soften. Soften through the forehead, the eyebrows, that little space between. All of those muscles around the eyes, start to let them go, softening through the temples, the cheeks, letting them slide down towards the ears and relaxing the jaw, letting the tongue fall away from the roof of the mouth. With each exhale, feeling your body pressing heavier and heavier into your mat. With each exhale, falling deeper and deeper into relaxation. For these next moments, just relax. All right. Bringing awareness back to the body, wiggling fingers, wiggling toes, maybe reaching arms overhead for that big full body stretch. Then rolling onto whichever side is the most comfortable for you. Then using as little effort as possible, press yourself up to that comfortable seat, keeping the eyes closed or the gaze lowered. All right. I've never done this before, so this is new for me, new for you. It might be amazing. It might not. We'll see. So we're going to do some alternate nostril breathing. So whichever hand is natural for you, whichever hand you prefer, we're going to bring the index finger, peace finger to the third eye. Then we're going to block the right nostril, inhale left. Block left, exhale right. Inhale right. Block right, exhale left. Inhale left. Block left, exhale right. Inhale right. Block right, exhale left. Inhale left. Block left, exhale right. Inhale right. Block right, exhale left, and let it go. All right, so we're going to keep our awareness in for a moment, letting yourself return to a natural, normal breath. All right, we're going to inhale the arms out and up, palms to touch, exhaling down through heart center. Inhaling out and up. See yourself grabbing that big arm load of healing energy. Exhale, pull it down to heart center. Feel the warmth, see the glow. And last time, inhaling out and up. Bringing palms to touch. Exhaling down to the third eye for the mind, to the heart center for the body and spirit. Namaste. I don't know, we may have broken some rules there, but I tell you what, It feels good. Thank you so much for joining me for today's Quickie. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you next time. Bye.